Mr. Lewandowski. I'm back here with another video designed to make your life a little bit easier. I'm going to try to get right into it. This is about literary analysis from theme to thesis. These are two foundational concepts that if you can get them early, learn them well, it's going to help you move forward in the discipline, write papers, things like that, the kind of things that people are nervous about. So first of all, theme. Finding and defining theme in a work of literature is central to the aim of literary interpretation and analysis. It's really, really important. It answers the big question about, like, who cares? What is it for? What am I supposed to get out of this? And thesis is it's your interpretation of a theme. So they're related because if you defend your interpretation of what a theme is, that's a thesis statement. That is a thesis statement. So in this video, I'm going to dig in a little bit to the definition of theme, the definition of thesis, and then in a later video, I'm going to dig even deeper into the relationship between the subjects that you have in a work and possible themes that can come from your interpretation or your understanding of what it is that the author is trying to do as the author navigates those subjects in the course of the work. So first of all, theme from the Norton Anthology. In the Norton Anthology, it's defined as a generalized abstract paraphrase of the inferred central or dominant idea or concern of a work. What is it most centrally, most importantly, what is it about? But it requires inference. You can't just say, oh, it's about shopping. You know, it's deeper than that, and I'll get into that a little bit later. There's also something that's problematic to this theme. It limits what a theme can be in a way that doesn't really help you as an interpreter of a fiction or really any kind of work. So it's a good place to start, but there's some problems. It gives the impression that the work can only have one theme. That's boring and it's untrue. So theme is most fundamentally an act of interpretation. It is something that the reader does in response to reading a work or watching a play or watching a TV show. Really could be a lot of things in life. And so there are many possible themes. It's not the theme, it's a theme. Think in terms of a major or central themes and minor themes. Also, themes develop over the course of a work. Over the trajectory of a work, the themes, they become fuller. They become more developed. That's the great, that's what development is all about. And so as you become a more experienced reader, as you're reading a work, like I'm reading Frankenstein right now. And as I'm reading Frankenstein, I keep seeing this theme returning, or this possible theme of, like, belonging. Do you belong to a community? Do you belong to the human community? Can you be human? Can you be part of a community? Can you belong? Or what is belonging? And as I'm reading the work, my theme radar, or my theme dar goes off every once in a while, because it's clear that Mary Shelley is developing this particular theme in a different way, in a different moment. Sometimes it could be through characterization. Sometimes it could be through even the setting or the structure of the plot, or different language, diction that she's using as she is describing moments in which Frankenstein the monster is belonging or not belonging, or Frankenstein the scientist is belonging or not belonging. Theme dar. So this little notification goes off in your head, and as you read looking for theme, you're always looking for theme because you're looking for value. You're looking for, who cares? What does this have? What does this work offer me? And then they're not really fully developed until a work concludes. Then you can make a statement on the theme. Theme is everywhere. You'll find it in, a lot of different things if you ask these questions. What is it really about? And what am I supposed to get out of this? Why was this created? And what is this for? What is this, you might say? This could be almost anything. A novel, a play, a poem, a painting, a TV show, a YouTube channel, a YouTube video. What is this? What is the theme of this YouTube video? An essay, a political speech, advertisement, a statue, Twitter account, a magazine cover, political ad. This is when you can dig into deeper meanings and say, I'm reading this speech here, but it seems like the theme that the writer, the speech writer, keeps returning to is fear. That actually I'm supposed to be afraid. And so sometimes the theme is like concealed, and it's an active interpretation where you're seeing through, like kind of like the Matrix, you're seeing into like the real meaning, and the real meaning sometimes is at odds, like I can say, I'm not here to make you afraid, but there's a lot of people out here, and they're really dangerous, and these dangerous people, you don't know what they're going to do. They could do anything at any time. I don't want you to be afraid. See what I'm saying? So you can, sometimes authors, writers, particularly in political speech and political advertising, they conceal the true theme. And so that's your active interpretation. Songs, albums, political movements, TikTok hashtags, like that's kind of like what a theme is. So, theme in The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons, been a Simpsons fan for like 30 years. So here's a possible theme from The Simpsons. Family dynamics adapt in response to the behaviors of an alcoholic parent. Homer has got a lot of great qualities, but he also has a pretty serious problem with drinking. And so we can see how the family adapts in different ways, and they play different roles to, function as a family. I'm not saying it's good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying that I think that this is something that's going on in this show. So that's a theme. But look what happens as I transform it into a thesis statement. The Simpsons is best understood as an exploration of the many ways that families adapt in response to the behaviors of an alcoholic parent. That sounds like a paper I would want to read or write. So thesis. How do we get from theme to thesis? I just took that journey right there with The Simpsons. So what is a thesis? Thesis is from the Greek. Aristotle was the first person to define thesis, and he defined it as something put forth. Here it is, my intellectual proposition. What do you think of this? This is my belief. This is my assertion. That's all a thesis is. Now, once we get into the world of literary analysis and school and things like that, it becomes a little bit more defined. A thesis is to an essay what a theme is to a short story, play, or poem. It's the governing idea, proposition, claim, or point. Good theses come in many shapes and sizes. A thesis cannot always be conveyed in one sentence, nor will it always appear in the same place in every essay. But you will risk both appearing confused and confusing the reader if you can't state the thesis in 1 to 3 sentences, or if the thesis doesn't appear somewhere in your introduction, usually near its end. So a good, clear thesis statement at the beginning of an essay is something you do for your reader. I don't want to confuse you, and I don't want to seem confused myself. So I'm going to construct a thesis statement that is clear, and also a thesis statement that recognizes that I don't want to waste anyone's time. I don't want to say something that's obvious. I want to say something that is worthy of creating a paper. So, debatable. A thesis should be debatable. Shouldn't be clear. The Simpsons is a TV show about a family. Thank you. I do not want to read that. I know that. I've seen the show. Tell me something I don't know. Enhance my life with your interpretive powers, and then your ability to guide me through that interpretation in a way that's beneficial to me, the way that I gain something. So your thesis statement should be debatable. It also should be something that could be proven with evidence and reasoning. So this is why you have paragraphs. You have an introductory paragraph that lays out, this is where we're going. I'm going to convince you that fundamentally, it's very important if you're going to understand The Simpsons, you really cannot discount the fact that Homer's an alcoholic and that the family adapts to continue to function as a family. That is my belief. So could I prove that with reasoning, with examples, with evidence, talking about specific episodes, things that happen in specific episodes, talking and then using reasoning to tie all this together. And therefore, you can see that, could I do that? Well, maybe I could. And then maybe when I'm done, you go, you got me. I'm convinced. Wow, I never saw it that way. But now after reading what you have offered, that's pretty awesome. Or I'm not convinced. I don't really think so. I don't think that that's the most important thing, or I don't think it's even that central to the whole thing. However, I get what you're coming from. It was a well-supported argument. You definitely, it made sense. And I see why you say that. And so I'm going to give you a good grade, because you did your job. You didn't fully convince me, but that's all right. Or, I'm confused. Your thesis statement and your evidence and your reasoning and everything didn't really match up. It didn't seem to be going in a direction. Or maybe your thesis statement wasn't interesting enough that it really deserved 3, 4, 5, 7 paragraphs worth of evidence and reasoning to support it. That's possible. Or, that was boring. Who cares? Thanks. You have convinced me that The Simpsons is a show about a family. Yes. Next video is going to dig into a little bit deeper into subject and theme. So I'll give you a little sneak peek here. This is kind of like where we're going. So in Persepolis, there's all these possible subjects. Persepolis is great. Where is it at? I got one copy right here somewhere. Well, anyways, it's great. So we're going to dig into this type of stuff. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about, it's a lot. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.